start recording. Hey YouTube, this is a wild out of left field one. I'm showing Devin Magicka for the first time. A game that is 13 years old at this point, and the references will reflect that. So be prepared for some old humor. Uh, so we got the vanilla robe. Devin hasn't really played this game before, so he doesn't have any of the DLC, obviously. Um, but I'm showing off. I'm going to be playing with the epic sax robe
She
because
hasn't really to
saxophone.
me, never.
Yeah. Zombie robe, heavy metal robe. There's also the Doctor Terrible robe. Um, and he's vulnerable to physical damage, but increased resistance to the elements. He has a transmatter ray and a PhD in terribleness. There's also the pattern robe, patched robe, something like that. With a bug staff and everything. That's a good meme. Epic robe, complete with epic staff and epic sword, increased HP. A bunch of, it's just really strong. There's also a Doctor Doom robe, there's a Crusader, there's a Frost Boy, Krakatoa, an Electric guy, Tribal Drummer, looks really cool. I remember playing a lot with a Tentacle robe, uh, which is, it's very, very funny, because it also has a red death phaser. Tank robe, support robe, and then there's a literally a like what's it called? Star Trek one, Frontier robe, complete with a dueling staff and a Type 2 phaser. There's a Doctor Who one. I'm gonna skip this for a second and get back to it. There's a Tron one, the Cyber robe, the Space robe, which is basically Warhammer 40k. Rogue robe, which has smoke bombs and a compact crossbow. Yeah, let's skip that for a moment. And that as well. There's the Reddit robe, which is wild and weird. Staff of Reddit protection. Oh, and there's a couple new ones that I haven't gotten since way back when. There's also a DLC for this game that we're probably not gonna play this more than just this one time. But yeah, it's based on the Vietnam War. So there's this Patriot staff and an M16. There's the Nippon robe, which is the Viet Cong essentially, which is wild, and the Reservoir robe, which just looks like a regular robe. It looks very vanilla. I'll show it off to you, Devin. Except for instead of a sword, it has a gun.
All right.
Yeah, as one does. But I'm going to swap over to the saxophone, because I think just a saxophone wizard sounds hilarious. So, let's get started with Chapter 1, The Fancy Menace. Be prepared for a lot of old, 2011 humor. So, good luck.
Stay a while and listen, and I will tell you a story. A story of dungeons and dragons, of orcs and goblins, of ghouls and ghosts, of kings and quests, but most importantly, of wizards and vampires. Well, a story of wizards.
Yep, just wizards. No vampires
Once
here.
upon a time in a land known as Midgard, there lived a powerful wizard named Grimnir, who sought to harness the power of all magics, ancient spells crafted in times long forgotten. With such knowledge, he might enable the wizards of the Order of Magic to spread eternal peace across the lands. But the Order of Magic instead felt threatened by his ambitions, and in the shadows they schemed and devised a treacherous plan. And so, Grimnir's disciples were expelled from the Order, and he himself was, for all time, imprisoned at World's End. All because of his dangerous lust for knowledge. Grimnir's dangerous ambitions dashed, the world was safe once more. Aside from the increased number of monsters attacking the good villagers.
Obviously, the best of us.
And of course the warlord Khan, who had united the orc tribes and now threatened the great city of Havendir.
All right,
But
so
in the
that's.
dusty
And it crashed.
Start.
All right, so I could pause the recording. All right. Oh, I'm just gonna quickly relaunch. Can't remember how to pause. So I guess we're stuck with this for a minute. So we'll do that, but we'll skip the cutscene. So that gave us a good overview of what we're working with, both in terms of stability and also in terms of yeah. So hosts back is off.
I gotta do Alt F4.
Probably. Fancy Menace. I have to re-choose robes. And I'll invite you over.
Alright, fine. I'll get Task Manager up in here.
Oh dear. Yeah, so this is a very old game. And apparently they left it fairly unstable. Which is very sad. But it is what it is. That said, we'll do what we can with it. The mechanics are like still unique to this day, as far as I'm aware, in terms of like how the actual like game plays, which is nice. Hopefully, we can get through it without too many issues.
I didn't realize I was outside that long.
Well, looks like the authentication's failing again.
Oh, goody. So if I host Adventure Public, VAC is off. Yeah, I'm just putting it as public. There's like 40 people. If someone joins, honestly, let them. It'll be funny. Oh, Devin has joined. All right, and let's skip the cutscene, and hopefully that'll help stability.
stay of our
Yeah, click. And it crashed. All right, so I don't think this is working. I'm gonna just stop.